I used to meditate. I even got a Sri yantra up in my house. I used to meditate a lot. Focus on the Biju, which is the red dot. I used to actually try to reach nirvana, where a lot of people, if you don't know this, a lot of people don't know. If you meditate and you actually achieve the quote unquote enlightenment, you start seeing like these vibrant array of colors that you can't even describe. And then sometimes you can get transported to what some might say different lands mentally. I've gone that far to where I've even meditated and complete submerged myself in complete darkness in order to try to have an enlightenment event. I am someone that loves to explore the brain. I love to explore my brain. I love to put my mindset, my brain in different patterns. Like I want to open all parts of my brain. You guys got to remember that. And this is noted. When I was very young, I was very obsessed with Freemasons. The first ring I ever bought, I was like 16 years old. I bought a Freemason ring in the middle of the mall. When I was 19 years old, I tried to join a lodge. When I was like 22 years old, I was up in the Grand Lodge of Georgia, trying to be an entered apprentice and tried to one day, to become a master mason. And it was a Scottish Rite Lodge, and I wanted to transition to the Templars, and I wanted to go to the Buell Society, and then one day go to the Eastern Stars. I mean, no, not Eastern Stars, the Hermetic Order, the Golden Dawn. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But that's the one I really wanted to go to. And I really was like deep into esoterics and the occult because I'm just someone that really wanted to know everything. And I'm also someone that tried to disprove God. I tried to disprove God throughout so much of my life because I was so on the book person. I wanted to trust everything by the book, by the science, etc. So I spent a lot of my youth trying to disprove God, doing a lot of experiments. I did a lot of different science experiments trying to disprove God. But the beautiful thing about it, and I love this story about myself, which is why I often repeat it, through the process of trying to disprove God, he appeared. Remember, I did the rice experiment, and I got two big jars of rice. Didn't cook it. In one jar, they're glass jars, I put some tape on front of them. In one jar, I put hate. On the other jar, I put love. Guys, do y'all know within a week, the jar with hate started rotting. And when I left it longer, it started to get maggots. The one with love was still completely fine. You know what that tells you? There's power in our words. Now, if there's power in our words, there is a God. There's a God because the Bible speaks about spells and it speaks about incantations, enchants, and the power it holds and the power of the tongue. If you're telling me writing word hate on a jar of rice and writing the word love on another jar of rice can change the chemical properties of them and make one age quicker, there's a God. I went even farther. I started looking at the water experiments of how water is affected by our words. And I'm also even classical music. You always hear about people playing classical music for their plants because the frequencies that it's emitting, it puts the plants into a relaxed mood. They actually enjoy the frequencies. And I started looking at this stuff and started getting verifications. And I started to say, my God, if water is affected by our words and frequency, 70% of the human body and 70% of our planet is water. It's not random. It's not random at all. So what we're saying, we're actually casting spells on ourselves. When I tell someone I love them, it affects my blood the same way it would water. That is a God. I wanted to deny God so much. I was like, he can't be real. There's too much pain in the world. He can't be real. It's too much chaos. I was born poor. He can't be real. I mean, yeah, I had some selfish thoughts. Some people do. Like he can't be real. But the more I ran away from God, the more he started to appear. And I said, man, I started learning about the golden, because some people, they just, they all try to find God in their own ways. I didn't just do it through religion. I did it through science, metaphysics, esoterics, rituals. I did a lot of stuff to try to prove if God was real or not. And I started learning things about the golden frequency and the golden ratio. You have these patterns in the world that keeps repeating constantly over and over. And then you start looking about the history of melanin and you find out that space is black because of melanin. And then you start to see the middle of a flower, like a sunflower, is black because of melanin. And then you look at our pupils and you see it's melanin. You start to see all these synchronicities through the world. It couldn't be random. It's impossible. It's impossible for it to be random. So many synchronicities. Man, I'm starting to nerd out thinking about it. It's impossible for it to be random. It's impossible. God has to have been real. That's why I was like, dude, someone created this stuff with intentions, with the real intentions of God is real. Shout out to you, Chris Jackson. Appreciate you for joining. But I wanted to just prove God was real because it would have made it easier for me to justify my wrongs. Because if God wasn't real, me as a young dude trying to enter the world, I would have been able to have sex as much as I want to unprotected. I'd have been able to start doing drugs. I could have got on cocaine. I could have done heroin. I could have done all the stuff a young teen want to do, a young person want to do. I wanted to live life with no rules. That's the truth. I wanted to have the right to feel the way I did. But no, because once it kept proving to me he's real, now I have to live within his realm. I have to live within his procedures and his rules because they exist for a reason. He knows better than me. It's just so many synchronicities, man, that it tells you that there is a God. There is a God and he is very intentional. And at the very least, I'm not here to argue that God loves any of us. No, I'm not here to God argue none of these things because those are personal beliefs. But I'm just here to simply argue the fact that there is a God that's real. How in the hell do we have like the same amount of water, which is blood, liquid in our body as water on the planet? This person is making things intentionally. He's intentionally making things the way they are. It's just very interesting. I found out that black people throughout history were pretty good hunters. And it ain't because, these niggas can smell better. And I know they can run faster and stuff. But something that just shocked me, it said that black people throughout history initially were really good hunters because of their skin, the melanin. At nighttime, it was easier for them to hide and to blend into the night. And I think to myself, dude, God had to design that to make niggas that dark to where it's useful. What type of random system creates things so perfectly? It's a lot of people also are unaware of this. Shout out to my boy JD City Hill. And shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming in. And something else that's really just keeps me up at night is why in the hell would God make it to where if you're black and your girl is white and you have a kid, neither of you can donate your bone marrow to your child? If you have a mixed kid, that child is now unable to have certain parts of your body that a kid that isn't mixed was able to have. Now, in that scenario, in that truth, and this is an undeniable truth, nothing can change it whether you like it or not. Would that make God racist, or would that make our opinion of God wrong? Because he does everything intentionally. He made us perfectly. Now, if this world was random, I think a mixed kid would be able to take the bone marrow from a nigga. But no, not in an intentional world where everything is created so perfectly. It's like we start to kid ourselves when we say God isn't real, It's almost like it's arrogance. We're like children. It's like, what the fuck are we doing to really sit here and think this nigga's not the fuck real? Excuse my language, but it's like us as humans, we sometimes have to put our ass in the seat and sit back and appreciate his greatness and glory. Just research the Bible and you'll find out, man, God is really real. You'll get excited about it, I'm hyped talking about this right now because I started to research God and I looked at like things like Noah. And it says that the Noah's Ark was only able, and then you guys, I'm a historian. I love this stuff. I start to nerd out. I start to smile about this. This is the content I really love. It said Noah's Ark was created with gopher wood, but gopher wood can only be found in the United States. And I'm like, dude. It's stuff like that. It's like, Jesus, thank you, God. Like, confirmations. Crazy confirmations. Why would, man, y'all about to get me want to shout up in this bit, boy. Listen. Why would an intentional God create gopher wood to only be able to be found in one area? You know why? Because God knew that the world was going to have trickery. The same way that they put hieroglyphs in the walls because they knew that they would burn the papers. It's the same way that God put these things in the world that will always remain the same. That way it gives us a hint. God makes sure gopher wood is in America so Americans can one day say, God damn it, what does that tell us about the land we own? And what else do we need to learn about this land? I look at the gopher wood like a hieroglyph. That's God's reminder to the people. You American people, you Americans, you're special. You're special. You're throughout history. You're special. I'm not here to say what Americans are. But I will say Mormons believe Americans are God's chosen people. They call some of them black people Lamanites. If you look it up, Mormons call them Lamanites, which means they believe they're Hebrew Israelites. It's crazy stuff. I believe that this is possibly Atlanta milk and honey. Depending on where you research, the Garden of Eden was in Bristol, Florida. Depending on where you research, the Garden of Eden was in Bristol, Florida. I'm not here to say it is because I look like a kook. But when I think about God and I think about the Bible, it says that he had given people a land of milk and honey. We literally call America a land of milk and honey, right? But he banished these people when they did wrong to Egypt. There's a conspiracy that you can get to Egypt from the Grand Canyon. There's sarcophaguses at the bottom of the Grand Canyon for no reason. For no reason. There is a reason. Why the fuck would Egyptian sarcophaguses be in a Grand Canyon unless there's a network to get to Egypt? Now, I would say if God was to banish people from the beautiful land of milk and honey, where it all starts, the Americas, we have it all. Look at Florida. If you think of the Garden of Eden, which one sounds more realistic? What was in the Garden of Eden? A reptile, right? A serpent. That's Florida, is it not? Okay. I think there's more gardens in Florida than there are in the fucking, Middle East. And I know times were different. They had more greenery. But it has never been as beautiful as Florida. At the end of the day, Jerusalem has never had a rainforest. Yes, they had more greenery, but we got rainforests. We got serpents. We have snakes. We have Florida that has an abundance of every fruit that you could need to survive. We have a very specific type of land. And most importantly, this land itself is some of the hardest to conquer because how it's placed on the map. It's literally protected by the waters of God himself. It's as if the American people are possibly the chosen people. Shout out to JD City Hill, Stephen Quell. He did phenomenal work on exposing that. The pyramids, giants. Bong, shout out to you. Can't wait to see the shit's hiding in the Grand Canyon. Man, I hope we one day can. You guys about to get me nerded out a little bit more. So look, something about the Grand Canyon, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this. Do you know if your ass fall in the Grand Canyon, they ain't coming to get you? So, bro, my brother loves to go to the Grand Canyon a lot. If anyone falls in the Grand Canyon, they got a Native American, this shit like a secret society. The Native American tribe has to wait like 2 hours to get you. It's to make sure you're dead. So what the hell do you see at the bottom of the canyon that they have to wait to go get you? In the year of our Lord in 2025, you telling me my black ass fall down the canyon, I got to sit there and wait 2-3 hours to come and get me? There should already be systems in place. Hell, there should be elevators. We have the technology. But they intentionally make sure people die because they can't come back and report what they've seen. Shout out to Pyra Love. Appreciate you for coming in, showing love. Shout out to the chats, man. Y'all lit right now. But it makes me start to wonder what's going on with Grand Canyon. So they claim that the Grand Canyon has sarcophaguses. It was plausible. Say they had hieroglyphs. It was plausible. But now when you start to look at how the Grand Canyon is ran, and it's ran by a Native American tribe, specifically to where no one can get any information from them, and there's nothing you can do about it because they have these Native American rights. So now they have a treaty with the original United States to keep some shit a secret, and they make sure they get you when you dead. What is going on in the Grand Canyon? What would the Grand Canyon tell us about Americas? If you look at America, majority of America was named after Egypt. You had like Little Egypt, even like, what is it? Is it Detroit? What was it called? That was called Little Paris. If you look at all this, they were called all these European and Middle Eastern cities as if we were a whole different place. You look at our state capitals, the whole Tartaria thing that people are talking about, they all look as if they were made by magical people damn near. Because the world was completely different. Even cathedrals was once hospitals. Cathedrals was once hospitals. And there's Memphis. Yeah, Memphis used to be Memphis and all of Tennessee. There was a town called Little Egypt in Tennessee. And there's a reason why Tennessee has a pyramid. But, cathedrals used to be hospitals, y'all. People used to go into the cathedrals, and I can find all original sources on this. People used to enter a cathedral, and the bells that used to rock and roll, it would heal people. People were getting healed by bells in the past, and they changed cathedrals and made them what they are now. They made them like a church. But what it is, it's also propaganda. Y'all about to get me to start talking too much, because the Bible says that the body is a temple. They manipulated that into being a brick and mortar location to get your donations. But the body was never supposed to be that temple. It was our body. The body is a temple. The cathedrals that we go in, we used to get healed from. We were on this stuff. Tesla towers have been destroyed. There was a Tesla tower on the Statue of Liberty. all the copper at the top, even like our electric building in Nashville. Look up NES, Nashville Electric Service. Look at the very top. They had a Tesla coil taken off of it. If you look at cities like Nashville that still have that old ancient Roman type of look at the top of their buildings. Almost all of them have this copper coil that's been removed. What were they used for? It was to access the ether. In my Twitter back in 2022, I shared all the files of the ether. We had access to something called ether. It's the combination of air and water. They even put it, these people, they put it in our face. In Call of Duty Zombies, they mentioned about the ether. In like the World War II zombies, World at War, in Black Ops 1. They spoke about the ether. And you had to use the ether to kill zombies and power it up. And it was controlled by Nazis that was able to teleport and go through time. These things, they exist for a reason in video games because they have a lot of history behind it. Hitler went to the Himalayas. He found an organization called, I hope I don't get banned for all this shit, an organization called the Brotherhood of the Snake. It's the most secret society in the entire world. It's an organization called the Brotherhood of the Snake. And they were out in the Himalayas. When Hitler went out there, he supposedly made a treaty with them, and he contacted the Pope at the time, and the Pope was deciding if he wanted to tell the masses about these people in the Himalayas. These were allegedly reptilian type people, which is why they're called the Brotherhood of the Snake. And the Brotherhood of the Snake isn't even their original logo. They have a logo with name. They have a logo with like the Nazi name. It's a different specific name. You have to find the name itself to find real information. You guys got to understand, they weaponize words and text. I make a career on finding information we can't normally find. So if you don't have the keyword right, you might not never find certain info. But you can start by looking for the Brotherhood of the Snake, find the real name of it, look what Hitler did in the Himalayas. But I'm just saying that things have changed. Things have changed over time, and we haven't really been told the truth about it. There are a lot of synchronicities with religion, angels, serpents, aliens. Even the Bible itself is a book about space. You know, I don't really like to get into that because that's too deep. People ain't ready for that shit. You know what I'm saying? We can't go there yet, JD City Hill. We can't go there yet, man. We gotta wait till we get the stream. We gotta wait till we get more clout, bro. We can't go there yet, bro. We can't be talking about how the Bible is connected to space, man. Because I tell y'all, I'm a historian, man, and we could debate about this stuff. But hey, do your research on Ezekiel Hill, on Ezekiel Will. On what Ezekiel will tell you it was. That Ezekiel will was a saucer. It tells you. What was before is today. When the Bible starts talking about chariots, steel chariots with flames in their mouth, they're not talking about horses, nigga. Nigga, if I'm in the past and all I know is chariots, fire, and steel, guess what I'm going to say when I see something flying in the sky? I'm going to say, God damn, that's a chariot with fire and steel. Bro, we only know about saucers. We still are calling shits flying saucers. That's not the official name. We'll call them that because all we know about that looks like that is a flying saucer. It might have looked like a chariot in the past because that's all they knew. So we're going to work with what we got. The things they were seeing weren't what they were putting. It was their depictions of what they saw. It was their depictions of what they saw. And I tell you, a lot of things these people saw in the Bible, we're seeing today in our skies. And that's a huge, I'm telling you guys, man, I know some things. I can't tell you where I got some of this, but some of this shit I'm giving y'all come straight from the White House. Like, man, listen, this whole world is ran by religion. I just want to go in about it, but I want to wait till I get the audience because you do, believe it or not, people will get banned for talking about this type of stuff. It's crazy as it sounds. But the entire world is a stage, as you guys know. I love to say that. It's built on us being manipulated into believing a false life. If you don't know your real power, you'll never be able to overpower those that do. There was a story. A lot of people know this slave hymn called Sweet Low Sweet Chariot Coming to Carry Me Home. Now, we got to mention chariots again. You remember I was talking about the chariots in the Bible. Sweet low sweet chariot coming to carry me home. That song, for some reason, them niggas in that song talk about as I fly over the river of Jordan. The fuck are American slave niggas talking about flying over the river of Jordan? Well, look this story up, guys. You know I always got to add my source for this crazy shit I'm about to drop on you. Well, look up during the story of the flying slaves. There's a story of slaves that used to sing these specific hymns, and that's where they got the term, allegedly, Negro spirituals, because it would activate something spiritual. And there were reports of UFO flying saucers coming to pick slaves up and take them off the plantations. So these niggas was saying, sweet low seat chariot coming to carry me home. They were talking about going to Egypt or wherever the fuck they claim the saucers took them. I'm not saying this shit happened, but there are real newspaper sources of flying slaves, guys. There was even a source where a dude had a double barrel shotgun and shot at it, and he saw the bullets evaporate. Like, these are reports from way back in the past, way back in the past. But they exist. But guess what? They were claiming these people were doing this to some type of frequency, some type of hymns. So slaves start getting their tongues cut off. And they start telling us lies about why slaves actually got their tongues cut off. You can't really tell people that, hey, if these niggas sing a certain way, they ass gonna fly the fuck up. You gotta keep people confused about what's happening, so they lie to us about history. All of us are powerful. This isn't no pro-black shit where I'm saying blacks are gods. I'm saying we were all powerful. It's been taken from us all. The slave masters had already lost their power because they had been manipulated. Those niggas that were coming from over, they were still tribal. You look at Haiti. When they first tried to dominate Haiti, they were unable to dominate Haiti, and they cited it as witchcraft. These people were using the name Jesus to try to dominate Haiti and still couldn't get it, granted. And these people were calling themselves black magic. They weren't able to conquer Haiti initially because of witchcraft. That's what they claim. That's what they claim. There's a lot of things that we just have been manipulated on. Even Nubians up in Africa. Nubians got that name, not from anything that's African. Look it up. Nubians' name, it originated from them claiming that they're descendants of the Anunnaki from the planet Nibiru. Nubian, Nibiru. So it's right in our face the whole time. And it's a little bit weirder when you start to go a little bit deeper than this. You talk about the Anunnaki and whatnot. I start to think of Avatar, Cameron, James. And I look at Avatar and they had asked him why there's no black people in Avatar. He said they're blue. I said, okay, whatever. I look at Avatar and I see all the trees cut down and whatnot. They claim that a lot of our mountains were trees. But what really made it kind of interesting for me about avatars being black and all this is the fact that one of the main characters' name is Sanini Nani. A lot of people don't know this. Sanini Nani is the original name of Jesus Christ. It's the name of Christ that's been hidden from the masses. Jesus Christ's real name is Sanini Nani. Now, where the fuck would a Hollywood director know that? And why is it in a movie where these quote unquote blue people, these heavenly people, 8 foot tall, like Niflheims, having these great trees, having like gardens of Egypt or whatever? That's pretty much what Avatar was going on. Why in the hell would he name a character Sanini Nani? Sanini Nani translates to I am that I am. So let me tell you how evil the world is, how evil these people are. When it says in the Bible to ask him, what's your name? He said, I am that I am. That is a translation. I am that I am is Jesus Christ's name, or is the name of God translated in English. I am that I am in Bantu, which Bantu means a group of people. It came and it originated from Ethiopia. These Bantu people, I am that I am in the Bantu language. It translates, when these people were cited to be, they got the oldest Bible down there, these Bantu people. So they have the oldest depictions of Christ. In their language, I am that I am translates to Sanini Nani. And we all know the letter J didn't exist in the Bible. The same way that Jacob, you know Jacob in the Bible is Yakub, the nigga with the big ass head. It's the same dude. Look it up. Fact check me. Fact check me and I'll end the stream right now. Fact check me. Jacob in our Bible, in my Christian Bible, that's the big head nigga named Yakub in the Quran. So we've been lied to about a lot of stuff. Jacob translates to Yakub. There's no J in the Bible. There's no J back then. No niggas was named with J nothing. Everything, it was replaced with a Y. There's a reason why they changed that, so it's harder for us to find our truths. We've been lied to about everything. We've been lied to about everything. The depiction of Christ, the picture of Christ, everyone knows at this point. It's just Caesar Borgia, the son of a gay king. Just like King James. The first book that King James made was a book of demonology to actually show people how to summon demons, bro. Maybe I know too much shit randomly. Because I promise you, everything I've said on this stream, y'all go ahead and fact check it and watch. I come back green. Watch I come back green. Check me. I want you to check me. I love it. I need to be fact checked. I need people to denounce me. That way I can make sure I'm on my shit. But I'm telling you, bro, I'm not just talking. You can take this stream. I'm going to chop it up on YouTube. You can watch it yourself. Bro, I'm on point. I know what I know. I know what I know. That's why I've been blessed enough to enter some of these high rooms in such short time, because the elites, quite frankly, are shocked to know I know as much as I did. I'm not that smart, but I know enough. And I had a unique upbringing with the occult and things like that to help me understand the way they work. I know the elites are able to talk to 1,000 people in a room of 20. They can just make certain hand signs and do certain things with their eyes that communicates to others that's watching it to let people know exactly what's taking place right in front of you. The military even knows how to do it with the way that we do dress right dress or standing at ease and things like that. It's to communicate among the minds of military, the people that understand that. Police officers can understand it. Police officers and FBI agents, CIA agents, all of them can understand military type of what I want to say, standards and traditions, because it speaks that language. The elites have their own language where they know how to speak to the masses, speak to the people that they own, and speak to their equals. There's symbols that they wear, colors that they wear on certain days. We are being so fucking manipulated. Power Love. I remember when the internet puzzle was around. Yeah, I do remember that. Independent translators. Man, guys, you know what's funny? I was going to do this stream for like 10, 15, 30 minutes, and we really going into it, man. It's like when I start talking about this stuff, it's what I love. I love history, man. I love history. I love religion. I love politics, breaker of narratives. You know, we start off with pop culture, entertainment, and then we got to the Bible. I start talking about my love for God and start talking about what brought me to God, start talking about the elites. This is what I do. So if any of you are newer to my stuff, this is what you get from me. A little bit of everything, but the difference is I'm going to make sure it's high quality. I ain't going to be throwing no bullshit in your head. It's going to be high quality, but I'm going to flow here and there. And this is what really makes me want to stream, because we can naturally go from these other topics and give our all on them. So I like that. And yeah, JD, I definitely know you do a lot of your research, man. It was never really solved. You're right, bro. The internet puzzle. It wasn't really solved. I mean, a couple of things about that date. You got 1531. It just, when I see the 1500s, it makes me wonder, because the Moors ruled Spain during that time. But at the same time, the Moors, they were black and they ruled Spain. I don't know why when niggas ruled Spain in some parts of Europe, they call it the Dark Ages. They claim we have the least amount of information during that time. I mean, it's a reason why Morocco was the first nation to recognize America's independence. Them niggas was already in charge. And it's a reason why Christopher Columbus found America the same year the Jews got kicked out of Spain. These synchronicities, they don't just happen for no reason. Nah. It's just the fact that history has been lied to. I mean, America was founded with funds from a Jewish banker. And America's named after Amerigo Vespucci. Like, I mean, he's a part of the occult. Oh, man, I could go on and on, man. God, I could really go on and on. And this is why I have to do, like, my own streams. Because even sometimes when I collaborate people, like with 305 podcast, we stay on point. I stay on relationships and what the topics is, but I don't want to go too far off into this stuff, because it kind of like, you know, takes away from the theme. I try to stay on theme with everywhere I'm at. I could be myself and talk about the topics I really am passionate about here. So I miss this. I need to start doing better with chopping it up for YouTube, but I'm gonna get on that. I'm definitely gonna get on that. I'm gonna start chopping it up. That way I can have better content on my YouTube to start pushing to the stream. But man, just you five streams, if you five can join me on next Thursday, I promise you, I'm about to start getting to the point where I'm motivated to start doing this every day. Like I said, I missed this. I'm hungry. This is the longest stream I've had so far since doing Twitch. And I'm motivated. I'm motivated to just keeping this content coming. You guys enjoying it. I just need my 5 to keep rocking with me. If y'all don't have the time, catch me on the back end when I post up on the tube and Instagram and stuff. But we're going to start doing this consistent, man. I miss this. We're going to keep doing this. We're going all the way. I'm ready to be the next version of myself. And this is a good time to join me, because this is right before I become that next level creator. A lot of people might view it like I'm at the top. Not at the top yet. There's levels beyond this shit. Levels. I got levels to go, y'all. So it's going to get better and better. I'm not there yet. No matter what I've done, there's levels beyond it, and there's still much more to be done. I'm not a household name in America. So anyone that feel like you might be late to finding me in my journey, you ain't late. It ain't get started yet. It ain't even get started. We about to get to the next level. 1531 is a biblical coincidence. Yes. Man, you guys are smart, man. We got some smart people up in here, man. Appreciate y'all. But I'll end with this. I find myself staying up late at night wondering about the 1700s because there's this conspiracy that the world was actually 793 or something like that, and they added 1,000 years. I want to talk about that with y'all. I want to dive into that, the possibility of us being in a year where they take away 1,000 years, and why would they do it? Because, you know, if they take away those 1,000 years, that changes everything about Christ's prophecy, about when he comes back. You see how the prophecy of Christ's return has a lot to do with the number 1,000. So them adding or taking away 1,000 years into our dates would be monumental in us not being able to determine when Christ comes back. You know, the etymology of the word millennial, and you know, the term etymology means it's the origin of something. The etymology of millennial, or it means individuals that reach adulthood during the start of the millennia. But if you look at the etymology of the word millennia, it says the period of the 1,000-year return of Christ. So if I add both of those words up, millennials would mean individuals that reach adulthood during a 1,000-year return of Christ. That would be super accurate if we had 1,000 years taken away, because now we would know we're in the year, 1025. If we're in the year 1025, that would mean the 1,000-year return reign of Christ would have started not too long ago. And we would actually be like a millennial, individuals that recently reached adulthood. We're fully adults, 30 years old and shit. If Christ was to come back, there's conspiracies that we might have a cataclysmic event in 2027. But it would make sense. Let's say Christ came back in 2027. It would make more sense then. But it'll also make more sense as to why they took away those thousands of years. I want to break into that. I just want to talk about that real quick because it's something I don't think I really got to talk about. We really need to dive into that whole 1,000 year thing. And also something else different. If you guys ain't noticed on the stream before I leave, I know I'm holding everyone up. I didn't really use clips or nothing on this. I'm just really just vibing, talking, and making sure that I'm creating a good content, creating a good talking points, and having a good discussion. Sometimes it's posting videos, I feel like I'm chasing the algorithm. I'm trying to post content that I think is entertaining to people, but sometimes people just want to hear someone talk. So I'm going to be, adding clips and stuff, but I'm going to kind of be pushing a little bit away from clips and just start selling myself more. I want people to get to know me, man. I want to get a little bit more personal. Kind of hard to do that when I'm just reacting to clips all the time. I'm going to go with the flow, what feels right and what's more entertaining, because the main goal for me is to create a good product that's super entertaining for all of y'all and can be educational. I'm a little bit different of a creator. I like to entertain, but at the same time, I do have access to some knowledge and different sources that most people might not at the time. So I would like to just, spread what I can provide. I noticed I've been reacting to content for the last year and a half, but I need to start providing some stuff. I can add some stuff out there and can help create new original content. So I'm ready for the task, man. We're going to get to it. And I promise you guys, you stick with me, we'll have one of the biggest movements before the end of this year. I'm a hard worker. I'm worth betting on. And we're going to go all the way. Appreciate you, JDC Hill. You guys don't understand how much you coming in talking help me out so much. I don't care if I have 1.5 million followers. I care about who come into my stream. That's every creator that's out here. Those are the ones we care about. These 5, 6 people matter more than the 1.5, because these are the people you hone in on. These are the people I got to entertain. These are the people that's willing to take the risk. You're taking a gamble on me and willing to see if I grow. So I appreciate you taking the gamble. We're going to cash out really soon. Shout out to the stream. See you on the next one. Catch me on the 305 tomorrow. It's going to be a good episode. And man, see, Pirates, you keep dropping them dates, bro. You going to keep me here all day. Pirates keep dropping them dates, bro. He ready to talk. He ready to break it down, bro. Bro, Pyru, you got to make sure you show love. And I see you got the red tag as Pyru Love. So shout out to all my boys, man, that's out there. No matter what your color of the flag is, man. But listen, I'm going to be back, bro. I hope to see you again, brother. Come on in the stream, bro. Let's vibe out. Let's rock out. Appreciate you.